Hello everyone, welcome to DevLog 1. If you haven't seen the previous devlog, you can follow the card at the top of the screen or check the description. In this devlog, I'll be talking about a few visual upgrades that I've made to my game Ninja Froggy, which you're seeing right now. So, let's dive right into the juicy details on these changes. First, let's take a look at the old terrain. As you can see, it's giving off Minecraft vibes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but something about it just wasn't sitting right with me. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want my game to be branded as a Minecraft clone just from the visuals. So I decided to shrink the block size. Specifically, each block would be 10 by 10 by 10 in size, rather than a 100 by 100 by 100. Now that's 1,000 small blocks that are packed into the same space as one large block, and the result? A total lasagna looking mess. That's because the textures are shrunk in size to fit these smaller blocks. This is clearly visible when I start removing blocks. Also, this doesn't really change the terrain's shape at all since it's still very blocky. And the transitions between blocks is just too harsh. Like, look at this. Look at this. Ugh, that's so disgusting. But don't worry, to fix these problems, I whipped up an algorithm called It adds some crevices and bumps to the blocks, makes them more rounded, blends different block types, and so on, creating more organic looking terrain. So instead of lasagna, we get cheese. Now you're probably wondering why I called it cheese. Well, I don't know. I thought it made the terrain look a bit like
cheese.
Finally, I also updated the textures. I went with a more minimalistic and cartoonish style, which I think fits the overall vibe I'm going for, and now the terrain looks like cake. Of course, these changes here aren't final. The whole process is like cooking. You're always tasting, tweaking, and adding that extra pinch of salt until it's just right. Speaking of tweaking, there are still a lot of improvements I'm planning to make, starting with how the game's terrain data is stored behind the scenes. Right now, I'm using something called a flat array to store all the block data. If you're not familiar, a flat array is basically a one-dimensional array storing three-dimensional data. Fancy, right? It's like taking lasagna and rolling it into a thin, long noodle. Why? I have no idea, but that's basically what shoving 3D data into a 1D array is like. I mean, all I gotta do is shrink the block size and call it a day, right? Moving on, there's this other algorithm I use called greedy meshing. I don't want to go into detail, but it basically reduces memory consumption when rendering all these chunks. Anyways, the bottom line is, the current system for generating the terrain is fairly efficient as it is, but there are more advanced options I might explore in the future, such as octrees. But that's the story for another time. So for now, I'll be focusing on tweaking the current system to be even more faster and smoother. I've also been working hard at creating new 3D models to add more life to the game, and there's plenty more to come. If you're curious about the behind the scenes magic, check out the other modeling videos on my channel. They provide a glimpse into how this world is coming together, one model at a time. And if you made it this far, hats off to you. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for more updates, sneak peeks, and a whole lot of 3D modeling madness. Later.